Hello everyone, welcome to HNMS YouTube channel. Here with us is Father James Ereai, a staff and formator at Holy Name of Mary Seminary. Before becoming a diocesan priest, he was a doctor working at the National Referral Hospital at Nabanine in Solomon Islands, taking care of those who are sick and promoting good health in rural area. So I hope you like to hear much from him, from his life as a doctor and priest. So welcome. Yes, welcome Father James to our podcast this morning.
Thank you very much for having me on your show.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, just tell us about your upbringing from your childhood, how your relation with your parents, relatives, and siblings.
Thank you very much. My childhood is, I grew up in a family where my parents are very good practicing Christians, you may say. Because my father is a very strong Catholic, and he wants to raise us Catholic, while mother is a very strong Protestant as well, or Southeast Evangelical churchgoer. And so they raise up in a family where prayer is very much the foundation of our life. He prayed in the evening as well as in the morning. My dad, as a very good Catholic, is quite strong in leading us to the church for Mass every day of the week. And so I would say my family in Diocesan is a very good, strong, sort of say, Christian background. And I have, in our family, I have 5 other siblings, 4 boys and as well, which is my only sister. And we had a good, also a good relationship among ourselves. So, and also with regards to my grandparents as well, from my mom's side as well as my father's side, they are both good Christian families. So I would say I am a product of a very strong, so to speak, Christian background in my childhood.
Yes, thank you very much, Father. It is very interesting to hear from you about your upbringing in your childhood. So I'd like to let us more know about how is your young age, your involvement in church and community program.
Thank you very much, Festus. As a young child, I told you I raised up in a very strong Catholic family, and I used to remember my dad. My dad, one of his prayers is to pray for the priest, is for one of his child to be a priest. I had never thought of it, but when I was growing up, I loved to work in around the church. I was the one who should do the loans every time after around the church every Saturday before Mass in the morning on Sunday. And I lead all small children where we used to grow together, or teenagers. We will be the one cleaning up in the church and joining the youth programs. And so I was fairly active in my upbringing as a youth, not just passively sitting in the church pew, but I was involved in the cleaning, the maintenance of around the church, and my life circles around living in the church with, even we play sports as young people around the church. So I find good, comfortable zone as a young man working, growing up and around the church. That's around that time. And then when I got into my secondary school years in my primary, then I passed on to secondary school in King George VI. I have first of all, I have a bit of disconnection with my parents, so I kind of a little bit naughty, in the first 2 forms, 1 and 2. And then after that, I readjust myself and begin this prayer life of more meditative prayer life. And then my studies becomes more stronger and powerful. That is around that year when I was in Form 3 that I began to have this idea of maybe I was called to the priest or not, but then it wasn't clear when I was in Form 3. When I passed on to Form 4 after the exam, and my father, my uncle said, no, my father's last born brother, who is now Father Fiest, when he was ordained that year, that's when it really started to make this thought of becoming a priest even more something that has been with me since then.
Oh yes, thank you very much, Father. By listening to what you have already said, it is quite interesting that your motivation to become a priest begins at your secondary school, and somehow you end up becoming a doctor. So I am a little bit curious to know about how then you come to become a doctor.
Thank you very much. That's the million-dollar question which many people love to ask me when knowing that they know me once as a doctor and now as a priest. I think why I became a doctor is really the suggestion of my father. But I think it goes also deeper than that, because my mom is a very good nurse, and I know that she probably inspired me also to serve the sick and work with the sick, because she had a very good compassionate heart in which she works with the sick. And one thing I learned about my mom, who is good at it, she speaks so many languages. So in Malaita, when doctors, they do their work wrong, my mom can translate different languages as they go from bed to bed, different sections. So I think that my subconsciously, my mind is also preferred to be a doctor, but the actual intention or the desire was actually forced or reinforced by my dad. Simply because when I revealed to him after my Form 7, after graduating from Form 7, I didn't want to take any scholarship. So what happened, my dad was curious, so he asked me, how come you didn't get any scholarship from the government? You are the top student for that year. And I said, I don't want, because I want to go to the seminary. I want to be a priest. And then my dad was shocked to hear that I was the one who was praying for to be a priest. But the only problem is he didn't want me to be a priest at that time. So he suggested that I think it's good you go and find something to do. First, go and because your grades are good, go and study medicine or engineering. And so he decided that I try out medicine and surgery. He made the application, and that's how I became a doctor. I think he also gave me the best advice that year as well. The advice that even after I became a doctor, and God still called me and I can still be a priest. So I thought, okay, that's the solution for my confusion. And that's how I ended up being a doctor after 7 years of studies, and then I became a doctor, then later became a priest. So,
yes, thank you very much, Father James, for your time with us. And so sharing your life story. It is very inspiring, and I hope a lot of young youth there will listen to your story and motivate them to become a priest.
my pleasure. Thank you very much.
So once again, thank you everyone. We're going on to our second edition. So please do subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you.